That Billy video reached outside of my usual audience, and I got some people asking me what are these weird punches that I keep doing. So with this video, I'm going to tell you all about heavy melee cancels. I'll start with 3 moves you can practice to get a little competitive edge in your punch gameplay, and then I'll circle back in the second half to get into the technical stuff, sort of how this works and how you can take it a little bit further. To HMC, you need one of these 4 items: Fleetfoot, Colossus, Unstoppable, or Vampiric Burst. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be using Fleetfoot because it's the most common, but just know that it's the exact same on all those other items. It works the same way. So the first trick is extending the length of your heavy melee. This is really easy to do. All you have to do is keep holding down your melee button, keep holding down Q in my case, while you pop Fleetfoot. And when you pop Fleetfoot, it's going to basically restart your melee animation. You're going to skip the ending lag of the old punch and the startup lag of the new punch, and it just basically restarts your punch instantly, giving you a lot more distance and letting you be really tricky. So the second trick, and this one's also really easy, is at any point in a punch, if you decide you don't want to be punching anymore, you can let go of your melee button and hit and pop Fleetfoot. So you can be right in somebody's face, throw the greediest, most obvious telegraphed punch ever when you know that their parry is up, and then drop your punch in the middle of it and still get their parry. And so you could argue that this isn't that much better than just missing the punch on purpose. But the 2 advantages is, 1, this can look really, really convincing because you can be looking right at them until the very last moment. And you can do it while you're standing inside of somebody, and there was no way for you to miss the punch on purpose. The other advantage that this has is that you don't have to sit through the ending lag of the punch. You are actionable the second you pop Fleetfoot. You're able to start shooting, casting abilities, running away, whatever. And that's actually why this third trick works. Because when you drop your punch, you notice even if you're not inputting anything, you don't come to a stop instantly. You still have a little bit of your forward momentum from the punch. So what you can do is you can drop your punch, same as before, but then immediately start holding crouch, and then you start sliding, and you have infinite ammo and all that. And this trick is pretty difficult to pull off, but it's probably the most broadly useful of the ones that I've shown you, and it looks sick as hell. Now she knows I'm badass. Alright, so that's kind of the 3 tricks I wanted to show you. And you can click off the video if all you wanted to know is just like how to do something. I just want to ramble for a second about why this works and some general thoughts on it. Alright, so this is what HMCs used to look like. A lot of people came to me and said, oh, I thought this was removed from the game, or I thought this didn't work anymore. So HMC just stands for heavy melee cancel. Stone form is a heavy melee cancel. If you look at the abilities at the bottom, you see that stone form is still lit up while I'm in the animation for this punch. Which means that at any point during this punch, I can just cancel it with stone form, right? There's a few other ones like Kelvin Dome, right? I'm in the middle of punching. Psych, I'm on my ice path, right? So those are all also HMCs, okay? An HMC is just anything that cancels your punch. It just so happens that these items are also HMCs. Right? Any one of these things, I can get out of my punch. So the only thing they actually nerfed was HMCing while you're airborne. You kind of fall to the ground in a kind of, disappointing arc, when that used to send me flying, right? You didn't slow down at all when you canceled the melee. You kept the speed of the melee, and it would send you flying. And that was really fun, but that's been removed. Everything else that you can do was completely untouched, right? This, completely untouched by that patch. The slide got a little bit harder because you're going slower, but it's not much harder. It's still definitely doable. And you can even still HMC while you're airborne, and it doesn't send you flying, but you can still, change your direction with it. Like, say you go up a boost pad to get out, and then you decide you want to change directions. You can punch, and then you'll kind of stall in the air and fall as you deal with the ending lag for the punch. This is still better than doing that, Like, there's still applications for it. And the more you understand about how it works, the better you'll be at finding those applications. The next thing I want to explain is why this happens. So when you go to throw a punch, there's this wind-up at the beginning where the game is still deciding whether or not it's going to be a light melee or a heavy melee, right? You're holding down Q, and the game doesn't know if you're about to let go of it. So you can actually like experiment with it, see how long you can hold Q for it to still be a light melee before it becomes a heavy melee. So there's that little startup at the beginning, and when you go from a state where your character can't perform actions to a state where your character can perform actions, if you're already holding Q, you skip those startup frames. Likewise, at the end, there's these ending frames. You see how after the punch, you see how she has to like bring her gun up and then bring it back down, and then there's that delay before I can punch again. So when you HMC while you're holding Q, you're skipping the startup frames of the next punch, and you're skipping the ending lag of this punch, and that's why you get this weird extension. A lot of people think this doesn't work on Ivy anymore, or that they've changed it in some way, because they changed the animation. So she does bring her gun up a little bit, but nothing about how this actually works changed. We're still skipping that ending lag, and we're still skipping the startup frames. Abrams?
A lot of stuff happened in there.
Please help me in the closet.
We're coming back.
Still in the closet.